Beat it, or I'll call the Brute Squad.
I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
I thought cell phones weren't allowed on the coaster.
Not to mention that it swings you out over a cliff with a 1,000-foot drop below.
Hey gang, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. I'm so sorry that the inner tubes all have holes in them, so you can float down the river with these styrofoam coolers duct taped to your arms. It's the radio show with all the fun and none of the gunk. Half the calories of our normal show.
That's because we have half the brain power.
Ooh. We want to welcome all of our listeners from Baltimore, Burbank, and Bahrain. I think Bahrain's pretty close to Baltimore, isn't it? Anyway, it wasn't very far on the computer screen. It was like about 2 inches away. We've got the all-star cast up here in the studio before you guys all go off to summer camp, various places. Courtney, how's it going on your end of the studio?
Well, I'm wondering, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck Norris?
I'm not sure. Josh, what's up over there?
I just finished constructing my 1 mile high portion of my skyscraper, and the next mile is going to be held up by hot air balloons. That's what's up.
Sweet. Elijah, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just counting down the very seconds until I get to go to camp.
Is that why you have your backpack on sitting here in the studio?
Maybe.
Is that also why you're holding the studio clock in your hands?
He has his running shoes tied. He wants to walk there.
Can't wait to get out the door. Josiah, how you doing?
I can't wait to go to camp when I'm like 11. Wow.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about amusement parks, and we'll be right back.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
Radio.
There's bubblegum in the baby's hair, sweet potatoes in my lazy chair. Been crazy all day long, and it's only Monday, Mr. Mom.
We're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. We're talking about amusement parks. We got a couple of crazy ones in Colorado. What's a favorite ride at an amusement park?
My most favorite ride is the Giant Canyon Swing at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park.
What's so cool about the Giant Canyon Swing?
The fact that you swing really high up and you feel like you're about to, like your face goes, it kind of feels like it's melting because you're going down so fast.
Not to mention that it swings you out over a cliff with a 1,000-foot drop below.
Wait, you're going out over the canyon, and once you swing out there, it's 1,000 feet to the bottom?
Over 1,000 feet, yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty thrilling. Anybody else been on the canyon swing?
Everyone in this room has been.
I don't remember it. It's all vague. I think I passed out or something.
I think you suppressed the memory.
That's usually how it goes on bad things like that. I was 6'5" before I went on that. When I got off the swing, I was 4'3".
Seriously?
That kind of G-forces. Any other rides you've ever been on at an amusement park that you like?
The Cliffhanger, North America's highest in elevation roller coaster.
Pull down on the lap bars and push up to ensure that you are securely fastened.
What makes it a cliffhanger?
The very first turn, you go out essentially over the cliff. It's on the very edge of a cliff. It's 1,000...
It's 1,300.
Yeah. So you're looking straight down to the river and the interstate below you?
Yep.
Is it a long ride?
No, it's 45 seconds.
Of sheer terror.
Or sheer fun.
And high G's and lots of screaming and an inverted loop.
Yes, that is the fun part.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Amusement Parks. We'll be right back.
4, 3,
needs to laugh the most? Your dentist. Day after day, they look into mouths of people with rotten teeth and bad breath. Give your dentist a breath of fresh air by sending them a copy of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come, and soon they'll be reclining in the chair and you'll be running the drill. To pick up your copy, send $20 check or money order to Tooth Fairy, 400 Prospector Trail, Marble, Colorado, 81623. That's Tooth Fairy, 400 Prospector Trail, Marble, Colorado, 81623.
You know, sometimes you go to McDonald's or Burger King. Sometimes the people that work there, they're sharp and are on the ball. Other times you just got to wonder, you got to wonder what that hiring interview was like. Please, come in, sit down. Can you mumble? Can you mumble without making eye contact? Would you be willing to goof around with your coworkers while the customer grows impatient? Great, I think you'd be a good candidate for our management training program. We're going to have you watch an 8-minute training video, then we'll put you on the front counter. People get their own drinks now, you just got to hand them a cup. But when you hand them a cup, make sure your fingers are sticking down inside the cup. That's our policy. And you just give them a bag of food and you're done. There's no need to say thank you because we wrote that on the trash box.
Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
Okay, we've all been to some amusement parks. Maybe you like the big rides, maybe you don't. What was that one in Texas that one of our family members passed out on?
The Great White.
Yes, the Great White. Was it SeaWorld?
Yep.
I don't see how he passed out on it. It was really fun, and there wasn't very many G's. It's just you went upside down for one part. Was that it?
No, we didn't go upside down, but there were a couple G's.
Yeah, she did go upside down.
We did go upside down
a couple of times.
See,
you don't even remember. You're suppressing the memory.
it's not even really noticeable, but you do go upside down.
Because it's a hang-down coaster.
When you are a smaller person, nothing moves around inside your body on these rides. As you get older and bigger, lots of things slosh back and forth inside of your body. It's really painful.
I like any roller coaster that kind of scrambles your brain. It goes so fast and so many times around, you're just like, you get off and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Well, there's one in Denver at Elitch is called Mind Eraser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it really erases your mind. You get out and your brain is upside down. So I used to be right-handed. Now I'm left-handed after I went on there. And I remember everything in reverse, too. It's like I'm going backwards with my life now that I've been on the Mind Eraser.
Yeah. SeaWorld in San Antonio has this ride called the Steel Eel, which is essentially these giant bumps, you could call them.
Go up and drop and up and drop. It's fun, but I bumped my elbow quite a couple times on that one.
I think,
that's one of the few places around here that you can experience 0 G's.
Multiple times in one ride.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy. You'd go down, like practically straight down, but a little curved.
About 80 feet.
Yeah.
And then straight up 70 feet.
Yeesh.
And then straight down 60 feet. Straight up 50 feet.
Well, the first time when you go up, it takes you up a giant chain and brings you up to the top. Then it just lets you drop. And that's probably the worst drop, because you're dropping pretty much just straight down.
It reminds me of the flying coaster that I was on one time. You lay on your stomach, 4 people wide. They shut the top like a clamshell on top of you, and you're hanging onto like bicycle handles or something like that, and your face is exposed to the wind, so you're not looking out a window, but it's there. And you spiral up to the top, like spiral like a parking garage, and then you come out to the edge and you tip over head first, and you go straight down 80 feet vertical upside down.
Yikes.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. You feel like you're flying, just like a flying squirrel.
There's also a fun ride. It's called the Alpine Coaster. What's cool about this is that you can control your own speed.
I love that thing.
It's kind of like a bobsled run or a luge course going down through the trees. You have a sled-like thing on a track, and you just go ripping down through the trees, down the mountainside. It's awesome.
Goes about maybe a fourth or a fifth the way down the mountain.
Yeah.
Pulls you back up.
It has things on the bottom so that it won't come off the track. It has brakes that you can pull back on to slow yourself down. It has tail lights.
Why do you need taillights on a coaster?
So that you can ride in the dark.
When can you ride a roller coaster in the dark like that?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock at night.
Ooh, that sounds pretty exciting. It's Comedy Parenting Radio. We're talking about amusement parks. It's summertime. It's hot. We're having fun out there.
And we're melting.
We'll be right back. Can I have that iced tea? When your kid rips holes in their pants at the playground, when your princess needs an outfit for that birthday party, when you come home from grandma's and can't find the other shoe for the baby, it's time to stop in at Once Upon a Child in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. This store is chock full of gently used clothes, toys, and shoes. You'll save so much money you can hide extra changes of clothes in PVC tubes out in the woods for the zombie apocalypse. Once Upon a Child, located next to Walmart in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Give them a visit before you see zombies at Grandma's birthday party.
Lazy Harp Seal has no job. Lazy Harp Seal has no money. Lazy Harp Seal has no camera. Lazy Harp Seal has no jacket.
I would like to point out that people have seen different kinds of wildlife when they're going down the mountain on the coaster.
What kinds of wildlife?
Well, people have reported seeing bears out on the hillside. One time, one of the workers at the adventure park was going down that coaster to check out the coaster, and a deer jumped in front of him over the track.
Whoa.
Haven't people seen wild turkeys on the Alpine coaster?
I don't think the wild turkeys are tall enough to ride the coaster.
I could imagine, like, you're going down and an animal just jumps into the cart with you.
I know, and you come back up and then they're going, wait, that one didn't have a ticket. Not only do people see wildlife when they go down the Alpine coaster, a lot of times people lose cell phones.
I thought cell phones weren't allowed on the coaster.
They're not, but as soon as they go around the corner, people pull them out of their pockets and start trying to record, and then the cell phone gets flung off to the side.
That's not very smart of them.
I wanted to say something about the kiddie coaster, an interesting thing. Well, if you go on the kiddie coaster, the smallest, most easiest little coaster, if you look straight back, the first drop, you get a little chill down your spine.
Even on a hot day. I think some of my very favorite rides at parks are when you get on the giant boat with a whole bunch of other people. You basically go nowhere other than just up, around, and come sailing down and splash 22 people soaking wet.
Like the Journey to Atlantis?
I love that.
It was so much fun.
And they have multiple splash zones. Once you get off the ride, you can stand somewhere and get completely drenched like people are throwing 80 gallons of water on you.
Yeah.
Except for by throwing, they're splashing it as they drive by in their sick Atlantean ride.
Yeah, those people with their sick Atlantean boats just take off. They splash you and leave you in the dust.
And another one of my favorite water rides of that sort is the Rio Loco.
There's the big waterfall, which one person may or may not get hit with the big waterfall, right?
And so we would try to spin the inner tube around and try to drench people, but that never worked.
I ended up getting drenched every single time I went through there.
Something about your magnetic personality and attracted to water. What show about amusement parks would be complete without the anticipation of the haunted mine drop? At Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, they have installed a new ride that's going to open up this summer. You guys are going to get on that thing. I'll hold your coats for you. You're going to get on that thing and you're going to drop 110 feet straight down into a hole in the ground.
Then what happens?
Then we get medical attention.
Thanks for coming up in the studio, gang.
Yeah!
You're welcome.
And when you go, make sure you unbuckle your seatbelts before you get out of your chairs. Bye-bye.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.